Hey, all right, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha, Kodash, double honor to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom, Barakatham. This is your brother Yara. Coming back at you, man. It's been a while since I've done like a screen recorded video. Lord willing, the audio's good. But this is an article I'd saved. I meant to do it back like last week. Yeah, you had so-called Columbus Day, which has been renamed to Indigenous Peoples Day. All right, and now what they're doing is apologizing. All right, again, because they first changed the name. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Okay, Indigenous Day. All right, 17 states have now have a holiday honoring Native Americans, and a handful have entirely replaced the Columbus Day holiday with Indigenous Peoples Day. All right, in 2021, President Biden issued an official proclamation of Indigenous Peoples Day, an important step in establishing a federal holiday. Okay, so they're doing this same thing they did with Juneteenth, and this is how you can tell who the Israelites are, because no other people get this kind of condescending tone. You know, like here's a holiday, or here's Meg Thee Stallion to twerk. You know, go away, nigga. You know, that's you get the same treatment no matter which tribe you are. Okay, and a lot of you tribes are gonna find out too late, just like Gad did, man. Okay, let's read a little bit of this article. As a matter of fact, before I go to that article, let me go to this. Seek to please the poor. That's in Job. Yep, Job 20. I started at verse 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? So you got to know who could that possibly be talking about that's going to perish forever. What other nation is the only nation promised to be exterminated? Okay, you gotta put things together. It says he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more. All right, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. All right, and so we're already seeing that spirit of Esau seeking to please the poor, because the lesser of his people, they can feel that the reign is over with. The birth rates have declined. That's a number one telltale sign that the spirit is just not in your people anymore. All right, when your own women are not wanting to reproduce with you, they'd rather ride the carousel of men of other nation, mainly Jakes, okay, before they hop down and settle down with you, man. This wasn't the case 40, 50 years ago, okay, but now you're gassed out, okay, because you didn't really have the breath of life in you. You stole you stole one lungful, and once that lung is out, once that air is out of your lung, that's it. You have no more. There's nothing there to replenish you, man. All right, you stole a copy of how to live, but it's a perversion. And when you really look at it, it's the complete inverse of the way you should live. It only appears so in his so-called constitution. You know, you can't murder, you can't steal, that thing. But when you look closer at what really governs this place, Esau believes he's above that law. That law is meant to apply to you. Okay, so this whole thing was a trap. Okay, so when you see them doing things like this is just know that's the spirit that they're coming in. All right, let's read some of this article. Famed explorer Christopher Columbus was likely Spanish and Jewish. Okay, now they're admitting that after how many books? Now I gotta do better. I'll admit to going back in some of those books. You know, you had Arthur Koestler, the 13th Tribe. You had Jewish traditions of West Africa, Hebrewisms of West Africa, I believe. Color, Nation Knows No Color Line. All of the books that that we can kind of go to. Many of them written by Amalekites, by the way. All right. And that we've been saying this for years, man. Okay, now he's finally coming out and admitting it, you know, and he's doing it around this time of the year, because this article, I believe I saved it last week around this day, so-called Columbus Day, which is now Indigenous Peoples Day. All right, it says, according to a new genetic study conducted by Spanish scientists that aim to shed light on centuries-old mystery. All right, so what they did was they got the remains of him and his brother. All right, when you read this article, okay, and they had to now they have to admit it, because they had to go get the DNA. Well, wait a minute, this guy's lineage, he wasn't. Let's read. It says, scientists believe the explorer whose expedition across the Atlantic in 1492 changed the course of world history. And what that really means was that was the proclamation of the Renaissance, man. That was the Renaissance that started before that, but this was the proclamation that we're getting ready to execute it. See, the Renaissance, when they did all of the art and changed all of the images and the iconoclasm, that was just preceding. That was just the image. Now, when they started creating and making the beast, this came after Columbus. When he came over to the Americas, that's when the beast itself really formed. All right. It wasn't just the image anymore. OK, this is the Roman Empire coming back into its full power. And when you look up around this time in 1492, man, all of these, it wasn't just Spain and Italy. It was Portugal. It was the British. It was the French. They all came over here stealing, killing, man. OK, so this was that seven-headed dragon. Again, basically coming back. So, and this is a milestone of Revelation, man. The 13th, 14th, 15th chapter, or 13th chapter, I should say. But that deadly wound was healed. Okay. He says was probably born in Western Europe, possibly in the city of Valencia. Okay, that's what the original one, that he was probably born in the city of Valencia. They think he concealed his Jewish identity and converted to Catholicism to escape religious persecution. All right, so and what took them admitting this? DNA had to, just like you had Jakes that got locked up for 30 years and then they finally have DNA go out and test it. Oh, he ain't do it. Okay, but now it's coming out, all right, that you people are not the people. Now, when you ask over there in the land, I'll just call it the land. You should know what land I'm talking about. All right. When you go ask them over in the land, can you do a DNA test? It's illegal. You got to ask yourself why. Or the same reason they didn't want to prove who Columbus was, man. All right. Who his brother and his nephew, his grandnephews, I believe, are still alive, who go by Cristobal. Okay. Cristobal Colon. Okay. It says they think he concealed his Jewish identity or converted to Catholicism to escape religious persecution. The study of DNA contradicts the traditional theory, which many historians have questioned, that the explorer was an Italian from Genoa. Okay, that was the official story. He's Italian. Okay. Columbus led an expedition backed by Spain's Catholic monarchs seeking to establish a new route to Asia, but instead he reached the Caribbean. All right, and so you got to ask yourself, you know, like, well, that time of those monarchs, the Spanish monarchs, okay, that's one of those seven heads. All right, and now the Pope at that time had the power to make a king or dethrone a king. The Pope could say, look, you're no longer the king because you committed adultery. The Pope had the power to do that. So when you read in 1493, the papal bull, okay, inter cetera, all right, papal bull of 1493, all right, the year after he got back. Now look this up, inter cetera. Inter means in between, cetera is where you get the word et cetera from. Cetera means and so forth and so on, or it means ongoing. So it means between and so on. And what this was, the context of that was the Western Hemisphere. This is them crossing the Atlantic, and that's why when Columbus got back, all right, he did what? He gave them the report. He said, I brought some Hebrew speaking slaves over there. We got them. and what happened? Look up the Inquisitions, man. All right, you had the Spanish Inquisition. You had multiple ones. Guess I got to type it in. There it was there. The Inquisition was a Catholic Church office that sought to suppress heresy and other non-Catholic Christian beliefs in Europe and the Americas. Now, what they don't tell you is that the Catholic Church does not follow the Bible, just like Judaism does not follow the Bible, just like Islam does not follow the Bible. They all reference the Bible. They all have biblical characters in them, okay, but they don't follow the Bible. Who does Islam follow? Even though they talk about Abraham and Ishmael and Jacob, who do they follow? They follow the Quran. And what does Judaism follow? Even though they talk about Abraham, Isaac, who do they follow? What do they follow? They follow the Talmud, not the Bible. And it's the same thing with the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church does not follow the Bible. They follow something called canon law. Okay, that big ass book the Pope is reading out of, that is not the scriptures. Okay. They have Bibles, don't get me wrong, but that's not what they believe. Okay, they believe in a different religion that has nothing to do with the Bible. Okay, that's why the Pope wears a yarmulke. All right, and it says the Spanish Inquisition. So when he sent the Spanish there, he was trying to get these Northern Kingdom to believe in Catholicism, and to this day, that's a strong demon on any brother that speaks Spanish, pretty much. If you from Puerto Rico or Cuba or Venezuela or Mexico, that Catholic demon is heavy on you, man. Even on a lot of Levites down there as well, man. Simeonites, which are the so-called Dominicans and the so-called Haitians. Okay. It says other inquisitions down here. Other inquisitions were established in Portugal in 1540 and Rome in 1542. The Roman Inquisition tried Galileo in 1633. You see? So what you have, it was a takeover. It was a civil war going on. All right. These inquisitions was a new power that rose mainly off of Cesare Borgia, which I'll Google him in a second. Not Cesare, but Alexandria, Slovakia. Pope Alexander VI, Rodrigo Borgia, okay? His reign was a coup. He took over the Catholic Church and started doing these inquisitions, man. All right? Because you had a lot of Jakes that were in these Catholic so-called Christians, man. See, they merged those names together so you can't tell between a Jake and an Edomite, an Israelite and an Edomite. And then they went back and painted over all of those images, certain Duke of this and that. They confounded everything. Okay, and it's very, very hard to prove that now, man. You got to go deep in these books, and even if you bring it to a person to say, look, that they'll say, well, nah, we don't believe that because scholars say this or scholars say that. Well, look, they confounded things in the Inquisition, man. They did a lot of damage. They took over Rome. They took over everything, man. Okay, and they brought that where west. Okay. Okay, let me go again because I'm getting too many, not enough precepts. All right, Job. Let me go to Job 9. And 24. It says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" So it's a question. Well, who is he, man? They're covering up all the faces of the judges. Why are they doing that? Because they are painting an image that Esau will force you to bow to it, man. All right. What they don't tell you is that these inquisitions, that was them forcing you to bow to the image back then. All right. Now they've switched their model from an oppression model to a subversion model, meaning they're trying to pervert your mind. They're trying to get you to go off, on your own to destroy yourself. They're basically going to get you to do through comfort and distractions. All right. But that's that old devil, that old serpent, like the scriptures say, is gonna come back, man. You're gonna be forced again to bow, okay? And if you're not with it, then guess what's gonna happen, man? If you don't have the Lord on your side, guess what's gonna happen, man? You're gonna get judged. All right. It says Columbus led an expedition backed by Spain's Catholic monarchs seeking to establish a new route to Asia. I read that his arrival there was a beginning of a period of European contact with the Americas. Contact is what they call it. Contact. No, it was European slaughter. That's what it was, man. All right. They be trying to like sugarcoat words about what this devil was doing, man. They said Columbus didn't even put down his sword, man. He was slaying so many people. That was a hyper demonic nigga, man. All right. It might be Netanyahu, man. Okay. Because the same thing happening to the Native Americans, so-called Native Americans, which are the Gadites, the Reubenites, and the the Gadites and the Reubenites. Some Issachar as well, considered Native American. All right. That exact same playbook, that's what they're doing right now to those people over there in their regions. All right. What do you have now? You got a war in Lebanon. You got a war in Gaza. You're about to have a war in Iran. All right. They're about to be in Iraq again. Okay. All under what? And they came from where? Europe. Just like Esau did, man. He came right out of the bottomless pit and started putting the holy hell on people, man. All right. And it says, his arrival there was the beginning of a period which will lead to the conquest and settlement and the deaths of many millions of indigenous people, to diseases and war. Now, really, the word war should go before diseases, because diseases comes after war, man. Diseases don't start piling up until a bunch of bodies start piling up, man. That's where diseases come from, dead things. That's why there's so many scriptures about how to handle dead things, not touch dead things. You know, don't touch anything that touched something that touched a dead thing. Okay? Why do the scriptures tell us that? Because the Most High commanded us to live, and he wanted us to live, and he gave us the breakdown on that. That's how you avoid pestilences, man. Don't touch nothing dead, and don't touch nothing that's unclean that's dead, okay? But what do these people do? So what I believe personally is that they had a lot of bodies, all right, around Gad, and then that's where these pestilences started coming from. But I still think Esau physically killed the vast majority of Gadites, man. I don't buy that 90 million of them dropped because of pestilence. You know how big America is, man. Pestilence can't spread that far, all right, that quickly. You know, if he killed 80 million buffalo, what do you think he's going to do to the people that's actually holding them back from getting the land? You know? It says his arrival there was the beginning. Yep. Countries have argued for years over the explorer's origin, with many claiming him as one of their own. All right, see, they want to be part of Christopher's, lineage. All right, there have been an estimated 25 conflicting theories of his birthplace, including Poland, Great Britain, Greece, Portugal, Hungary, and Scandinavia. Yeah, I can believe that, man. You know? So we see these things coming out, and the scriptures say we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. All right? We're not ignorant of this guy's devices. So more expose is going to be coming out on this demon. All right? Who is Alexander the Sixth? Pope Alexander the Sixth. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga nose, man. Look at him, bro. You can't tell me that ain't who that is, man. All right. He started a coup. Watch that show, The Borgias. Okay. Rodrigo de Borgia. Okay. All right. And it's spelled differently. And sometimes I've seen it spelled Borgia. You know, one may be Italian, one may be a Spanish way of saying it. Okay. And that his son is who you see everywhere. Cesare Borgia. Okay. As the image of the Lord. That's who you see everywhere. His son. So that should tell you all you need to know about the iconoclasm. All right. And when you look up on this guy, he was a pure demon, man. All right. If you ever watched that show House of Cards on Netflix with Kevin Spacey trying to become president, that he pretty much played that show out to a T within the ranks of the Catholic Church. All right. He passed up all of the cardinals and bishops and the diocese, and he became Pope. Okay. And he was set up by the Lord, man. All right. So, look, he was head of the Catholic Church and ruler of the Papal States from 11th of August, 1492, all right, until his death in 1503. And when you look up when Columbus traveled, I believe it was August in 1492. So who sent that nigga, man? This guy. He sent Columbus here, man. All right? He's the reason for all of the Inquisitions. All right, they weren't coming here fleeing the crown and fleeing persecution. It says, let me see. Hold on. Okay, it was October. Okay, so it is the day that he. It is the day of the holiday, the 12th. Okay. So that's based on the day that he got here. So in August, the Pope was set up there, and then in October, all of a sudden, Columbus is over here on a voyage. All right. And when was that papal bull that he signed? The very next year. Okay. 1493. No. Yep. May in 1493. So there you have it. You know, Columbus Day is full of shit, and these people are losing it, man. All right. Everything that they love is gonna spoil. Okay, right in front of their hands. The Lord is gonna kill the mirth and the joy of this place before he actually puts hands on it. And that's a beautiful thing, man. We should rejoice in that, because that's a sign that our deliverance is almost here, man. So with that, I'll end it there. Lord willing, this was edifying. On to the next.